Welcome to Dream Tales Sleep Stories. Tonight's reading is The Art of Saying No. Settle into your bed or sofa and let your shoulders, jaw, and eyelids grow heavy. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, and sigh the air away, allowing the day to fade into quiet dark. With every soft inhale, you invite fresh English phrases. With every gentle exhale, stray thoughts drift farther off. Behind my voice flows a gentle 528 Hz melody, renowned for guiding the mind toward deep relaxation. Keep your eyes closed or follow the captions, whichever feels right. Simply receive the rhythm and resonance of the language. Deep in rest, tonight's phrases will take root like seeds, ready to bloom into stronger English skills with the morning light. When you feel settled, hold that unhurried breath and allow yourself to drift into the tale. The art of saying no begins now. And when the story's final line is faded, the end. The music will linger a little longer, carrying you gently deeper into sleep. The Art of Saying No. Mika was a 22-year-old office worker who had just started her first job at a small IT company in Tokyo. She was a quiet, shy person who found it very difficult to say no to anyone. Her colleagues often asked her to help with extra work, and she always agreed, even when she was already busy with her own tasks. Every morning, Mika arrived at the office early and stayed late every evening. She helped her coworkers with their projects, brought coffee for her boss, and even cleaned the office kitchen when no one else wanted to do it. Although she was always tired and stressed, she couldn't bring herself to refuse any request. One rainy Thursday afternoon, Mika's supervisor, Mr. Tanaka, called her into his office. He was holding a stack of papers and looked worried. "Mika, I know you're already working on the Johnson project, but we have an emergency," Mr. Tanaka said. "The client wants these reports translated by tomorrow morning. Can you stay late tonight and finish them?" Mika looked at the thick pile of documents. She had planned to go home early for once because she had a dentist appointment the next morning. But as usual, she nodded and smiled. "Of course, Mr. Tanaka. I'll get them done tonight," she replied quietly. Mr. Tanaka looked relieved. "Thank you, Mika. You're always so helpful. I don't know what we'd do without you." That evening, Mika worked until midnight, translating the reports. She was so tired that she fell asleep at her desk and woke up with a sore neck. The next morning, she had to cancel her dentist appointment because she was too exhausted to go. During her lunch break, Mika decided to visit a bookstore near her office to clear her head. She wandered through the business section, looking at the colorful covers of various self-help books. One book caught her attention: Say No and Succeed: The Art of Setting Boundaries by Dr. Patricia Williams. The book's description promised to teach readers how to take control of their lives by learning the power of saying no. Mika bought the book immediately and spent the rest of her lunch break reading the first chapter in a nearby cafe. Dr. Williams wrote about how successful people protect their time and energy by refusing unreasonable requests. The book explained that saying no was not selfish, but necessary for personal growth and professional success. People who cannot say no will always be taken advantage of, Dr. Williams wrote. They will never achieve their full potential because they spend all their time helping others instead of focusing on their own goals. Mika felt as if the author was speaking directly to her. She had never thought about her inability to refuse requests as a serious problem, but now she realized it was holding her back. That weekend, Mika read the entire book twice. She took notes and highlighted important passages. Dr. Williams provided many examples of situations where saying no was the right choice. The book also included practical exercises to help readers practice refusing requests politely but firmly. By Sunday evening, Mika felt like a new person. She was excited to try out her new skills at work. She decided that from Monday morning, she would start saying no to unreasonable requests and focus on her own responsibilities. On Monday morning, Mika arrived at the office feeling confident and determined. She had practiced several phrases from the book. "I'm sorry, but I can't take on any additional projects right now, and I need to focus on my current priorities." Her first test came before 9 a.m. Her colleague Yuki approached her desk with a worried expression. "Mika, could you help me prepare the presentation for the client meeting this afternoon? I'm running behind schedule," Yuki asked. In the past, Mika would have immediately agreed and spent her morning helping Yuki instead of working on her own tasks. But today was different. "No," Mika said firmly, remembering Dr. Williams' advice. "I can't help you with that. I have my own work to finish." Yuki looked surprised. "Oh, okay. I guess I'll figure it out myself," she said, walking away with a confused expression. Mika felt proud of herself. She had successfully said no for the first time in her life. Williams was right. It felt empowering to set boundaries. An hour later, another colleague, Hiroshi, came to her desk. "Mika, we're organizing a farewell party for Yamada-san next Friday. Could you help us plan it? We need someone to book the restaurant and send invitations," he asked. Without hesitation, Mika shook her head. "No, I won't be helping with party planning. That's not part of my job responsibilities." Hiroshi raised his eyebrows. Okay, that's fine. We'll ask someone else." As the day continued, Mika refused every request that came her way. When her boss asked her to attend an optional training session, she said no. When the cleaning lady asked if she could move some boxes, she refused. When a coworker invited her to join them for lunch, she declined. By the end of the week, Mika had said no to more than 30 requests. She felt incredibly proud of her transformation. She was finally taking control of her life, just like Dr. Williams had taught her. However, Mika began to notice that her colleagues were acting strangely around her. They stopped asking for her help, but they also stopped talking to her during breaks. The office felt colder somehow, and she often caught people whispering when she walked by. The following Monday, things got worse. During the morning meeting, Mr. Tanaka announced a new project that required teamwork. "I'll need 3 volunteers to work on this project with me," he said, looking around the room. Several hands went up, but Mr. Tanaka's eyes passed over Mika without stopping. He chose 3 other employees instead. After the meeting, Mika approached her boss. "Mr. Tanaka, I'd like to volunteer for the new project too." Mr. Tanaka looked uncomfortable. "Well, Mika, this project requires someone who's willing to be flexible and help out when needed. Based on your recent sentiment." But Mr. Tanaka looked uncomfortable. "This project requires someone who's willing to be flexible. Attitude changes. I'm not sure you'd be the right fit." Mika was shocked. "What do you mean by attitude changes?" "You've become very unhelpful lately," Mr. Tanaka explained carefully. "Last week, you refused to help with basic tasks that everyone usually shares. The team needs people who can work together." Mika tried to explain that she was just learning to set boundaries, but Mr. Tanaka had already moved on to other matters. During lunch, Mika sat alone at a corner table in the company cafeteria. She watched her colleagues laughing and chatting together at other tables, but no one invited her to join them. Yuki and Hiroshi were sitting nearby, and Mika overheard their conversation. "Mika has become so unfriendly," Yuki said quietly. "Last week, I asked her to help me with a simple task, and she just said no without any explanation." "I know," Hiroshi replied. "She wouldn't even help with Yamada-san's farewell party. It's like she doesn't care about anyone else anymore. She used to be so kind and helpful," Yuki continued. "I wonder what happened to her." Mika felt terrible listening to their words. She realized that her colleagues weren't trying to take advantage of her. They had simply seen her as a friendly, helpful team member. Now they thought she was selfish and cold. That evening, Mika went home, feeling confused and upset. She pulled out Dr. Williams' book and read through it again, trying to understand what had gone wrong. As she read, Mika began to notice things she had missed before. Dr. Williams did emphasize the importance of saying no, but she also wrote about the need to maintain good relationships with colleagues. The book suggested saying no politely and offering alternative solutions when possible. Mika realized she had focused only on the saying no part and ignored the advice about kindness and communication. She had been too extreme in her approach, treating every request as an unreasonable demand. The next morning, Mika decided to try a different strategy. When Yuki asked for help with a small task, instead of flatly refusing, Mika said, "I can't help you right now because I'm working on a deadline, but I could help you tomorrow morning if that works." Yuki smiled gratefully. "That would be great. Thank you for being flexible." Over the following weeks, Mika practiced finding a balance between helping others and protecting her own time. She learned to say no when requests were truly unreasonable, but she also learned to say yes to reasonable requests from colleagues who needed support. Instead of staying late every night, Mika began leaving the office on time 3 days a week. Instead of refusing all social invitations, she joined her colleagues for lunch twice a week, but politely declined when she was too busy. Gradually, her relationships with her coworkers improved. They appreciated that she was more assertive about her boundaries, but they also saw that she still cared about the team's success. 1 month later, Mr. Tanaka approached Mika with a new opportunity. Mika, we have an important client presentation next week. I'd like you to lead the project. You've shown great improvement in balancing your responsibilities and working with the team. Mika felt proud and grateful. She had learned that the art of saying no wasn't just about refusing requests. It was about making thoughtful choices that respected both her own needs and the needs of others. That evening, Mika called her mother to tell her about the promotion. "I'm so proud of you, dear," her mother said. "You sound much more confident than before." "I learned something important, Mom," Mika replied. "It's not enough to just say no or just say yes all the time. The real skill is knowing when to say each one." As she hung up the phone, Mika looked at Dr. Williams' book on her shelf. She was grateful for the lessons it had taught her, but she had learned that reading a book was just the beginning. The real learning came from practice, mistakes, and finding her own balance. From that day forward, Mika continued to grow both as an employee and as a person. She never again said yes to everything, but she also never forgot the importance of kindness, cooperation, and maintaining good relationships with the people around her. The art of saying no had taught her something even more valuable: the art of making wise choices.
you